On the computer. Hello, and I love seeing Ruth smile. This is Sheila Finkelstein and now Gloria Smile on session 4 of the magic of shifting perspectives. So I thank you for being here. Unfortunately, several of our group had different commitments, some of which were unexpected. So I am delighted that you were here.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad to join you.
What?
I'm glad to join you because I didn't think I'd make it.
Okay, so, and we are recording. I don't know if I said that. So anyway, this one picture is kind of out of context, but since I pulled it up, it showed up. I've been going over way past my picture to ponder easings. And what I read about this was that I wrote it. Oh, I'm not screen sharing. Share screen. Any thoughts as to what that is?
It's definitely some kind of a net, but I don't know what it's for.
Some kind of fishing net?
Yep. I was one morning years ago videoing, I think, a fisherman, and he threw that down and there's this stuff on top. And there was something I liked about the patterns and colors. I think the movement. And when I wrote about it as a visual collage.
Ah, yeah.
So I think I even labeled it natural, N-A-T-U-R, large collage. So if you have nothing else to look for when you're out, you can also look for natural collages where things are thrown together by nature. I think it was during a hurricane that I had coined that once, or after a hurricane. Okay. So we've covered a lot. I gave a lot to everybody this time around, and I appreciated Ruth getting a gold star for her participation on Facebook in the last assignment. Next time I'll have to get gold stars. So the first part is for your sharing, and I will go on Facebook to show a couple of other. I think Nikki did some share. There she is. She'll be able to do her own share, right? Hi, Nikki. We're delighted to see you.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I just got home.
That's okay. I'm glad you're here. We really just started. The only thing you missed was my natural collage.
Oh, okay.
And I was just talking about you.
Uh-oh.
You get the second gold star.
Okay, for what?
Participating on Facebook.
Oh, hi, here I am. Okay, great.
Okay, so
I will be right back. Keep talking, I can hear you.
okay. So
I don't know where she went.
what?
I said, I don't know where she went,
I'm
but the
right
picture
here.
looks beautiful.
Yeah, well, that's that's when you do the
Background.
yeah.
When you do the what?
You can, if you, next to your stop video, or in your case on the iPad, in the 3 dots up on the top, when you do the screen
Yeah.
more. And depending on how old your iPad is or isn't, you can use the virtual background. And
Oh,
you can upload your own photos also.
This is my backyard at sunset.
Wow,
very pretty.
that's wonderful.
Nice view.
Thank you. The Chesapeake Bay is behind those trees.
Oh,
Mm, wow. So how far do you have to cover to see the bay?
Well, it's about a mile, maybe
Okay.
mile and a half at the most,
Mhm.
but pretty close.
I thought maybe it was right the other side.
No, we couldn't afford it if it was.
Okay.
It's
So
beautiful.
during these 4 sessions or 4 weeks, you shared photos, writing, and I'd like to know, as we're sharing and talking, what you've discovered in taking the photos, if you've noticed anything different or new about yourself. And the same thing in the writing. If your writing has anything opened up for you. And I don't know if any of you have been sharing with anybody else, but if anything is opened up with you, as I've said, we also can be using these for shifting relationships or a way of opening up to other people. So we can start with photos if you want this, I didn't even mark down what I said, was just cover anything that suggested anything that you didn't take photos of. I mean, the colors, if you did colors, etc. Ruth probably can tell you better what I said than I can now. Very faithfully going through everything. Would you like to start, Ruth?
Sure. What I noticed going through these classes is that I'm a big picture kind of person. I don't always notice details. So it's helped me to actually stop and start noticing details and taking pictures of lots of different things. And I've noticed, change of perspective, like with my refrigerator. I didn't have to do anything except take stuff off of it, and it's a whole new perspective. I'm
True.
still working on applying that to relationships and to conversations in relationships, but it's been fun. It's been a great discovery. And I didn't think I would like haiku, but it's been fun. I have realized that I can't count syllables. I'll go back and wait a minute, that's too many. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing.
And what's the kickoff, so to speak, for the haiku when you've been playing with that?
Oh, with my dog. I posted it on Facebook. I have a little Chihuahua mix, and he can be very sweet, but he can also be very reactive. And when he's in a reactive mode, he doesn't listen to anything. And he has bitten me a couple of times.
Oh my.
Not a lot. I think I've had him almost 3 years. He's only broken the skin twice. So that's good. So, he can be very sweet and fun, or he can just drive me crazy. So I wrote a haiku about it. Sometimes I just have to take a step back and stop trying to compare him to somebody else's dog, and realize he is who he is and just enjoy what I can. I didn't put that all in a haiku, though.
No, so how did you start the haiku? You see, already I'm counting. Sometimes I have to take a step back. Well, I have to take a step back. And so that's how I count or start, if I have the thought. So that happened to be 7 syllables. So then I might go, well, what's the line before?
Yeah, this is what I wrote.
Yeah.
I love my dog Finn. He drives me crazy sometimes. I take a step back because that was
Good.
I did one about worrying about my kids, but I didn't count the syllables correctly. But yeah, so I did the same thing. I was worried about my kids. I was worried about my grandkids. So I wrote a little haiku about that and how I have to change my vision.
Okay, and sometimes you can start that and it just goes into free flow writing, period.
Yes. That's more what it was going into. Yeah.
Yeah, great. And then it looks, I've looked over some of my stuff the way I have it written. And was that haiku when I'm counting the syllables? No, it wasn't, but it just fit itself into kind of poetic looking expression.
Yes.
So it really doesn't matter. It's there.
Yes.
Okay. So terrific. Gloria, anything?
Yeah.
You want to share?
What did you say?
Anything you want to share?
Oh, well, I didn't do everything that you had asked for this past week. I didn't get to it. I did write a little something again. It's not poetry, but it's just a thought. So I could read it. It's less than 5 minutes.
Sure.
My deck faces a pond, and each year small fish are replenished, which brings birds of all kinds. Now we're in the midst of a drought, and the pond is now surrounded with a beach. Very few birds are attracted. How sad. Global warming is striking us. I won't use the dishwasher, a small contribution. So that's what I wrote.
Great.
And I took some pictures. I have a particular vase that I like very much, and it has like a fluted top.
Mhm.
So if you turn it in different directions, it takes different shapes.
Mhm.
And not that I haven't been aware of this before, I have, but not as much as this particular group has brought that out for me.
Mhm.
So I took several pictures of it,
Okay.
right?
Was it a glass vase? Is it a glass vase?
Yes, it is.
Did you notice reflections in it?
Well, there isn't too much, but there is some where the light comes through.
Mhm.
And where that light comes through, it doesn't come through elsewhere.
Mhm.
It's just a particular spot.
Down.
Yeah, sometimes even just this distortions. It's fun looking through glass,
Uh-huh,
seeing different distortions and things.
yeah.
Okay, great, thanks. What happened to Deb again? I should have said hello.
I think she's still trying to figure it out, get on.
No, she's off again.
Who's that?
Deb Paris. I spoke to her last week and we did fine on Zoom. Okay, Nikki.
Yes. I take a lot of photos, as you know, and I had posted on the Facebook one about this little plant. It's called a surge, S-U-R-G-E, or spurge, I'm sorry, S-P-U-R-C-G-E. And it looked like owls to me. And then Sheila saw a little cheerleader, which I
Right.
thought was funny.
I'll go into Facebook and you can talk
Okay.
so Gloria can see it. There we go. Oh, wait, I'm not sharing. Or was I still sharing and didn't stop?
Duncan needs to go out. I'm talking. Sorry, the dog has to go out. I had to call my husband.
Okay, let me,
I've got it if you want me to.
oh, you want to screen share? Go ahead, you screen share.
Well, I can't screen share. That's the thing. It's
Okay,
on
well-
my phone and I'm on my iPad and they don't sync up.
Yeah.
But here's
Yeah, you
here's
can screen
Oh,
share. I'll share.
there it is.
Yeah,
There it is. So I saw little owls immediately. And Sheila saw down in the left-hand corner, she saw little cheerleaders with pom-poms, which I hadn't noticed.
no, this one wasn't,
No.
it's this one.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought you were talking down farther because the little skirts and pom-poms.
way,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw this with really big sleeves billowing out.
And the one next to it, to me, looked like the owl. The one next to where your your pointer is,
Mhm.
up and to the right. No, down,
Oh,
down.
there it was, there it was.
Right there, yeah. So it's really funny what you see. But so that's what I shared on Facebook, and it was just in a garden. We had Virginia's garden tour was this past week, and our area was the Eastern Shore was on Saturday. And there's this garden that's hundreds of years old here, and it's open to the public all the time, and it's lovely. But these little flowers were in that garden, and so anyway, just noticing little things like that, like it looked like an owl, or to me, and actually to my husband too, but maybe it was my suggestion, I don't know. But
I'm sorry. I was looking at, I was trying to find Deb's number. She gave it to me and I guess I didn't enter it in my address book. Okay, so what was your overall, let me, while we're on here, yeah, that's right, because Gloria wasn't on, so let's go share what you had also. Okay, there we go. So,
yeah, the refrigerator.
so go ahead, you can,
That's Ruth.
Mhm.
yeah,
See?
So this is the refrigerator that Gloria, that she was talking about. She did
Okay.
clean up and wasn't looking for a new refrigerator, but got one.
You know, Ruth, it's funny because I just got it, my husband and I just got a new refrigerator, and our old refrigerator was covered with magnets and grandchildren's drawings and just memories. Every time we would go on a trip or something, we'd buy a magnet, put it on the refrigerator. Well, our new refrigerator isn't metal and none of the magnets. So
Oh,
I'm disappointed that I can't put anything on mine. And you're happy you took everything off.
Oh, you mean Nikki, the magnets don't work?
Correct. It's not really metal. I guess it's some kind of plastic that looks like metal.
Oh,
And I gotta
That's
put the magnets on and they won't stick.
pointing.
So it's funny how perspective, because Ruth's happy with her clean one. And I'm disappointed in my clean one.
oh.
Okay, so then Ruth took on the getting, well, you can talk, Ruth.
I was just taking pictures of my flowers. I love to take pictures of flowers. And I looked at this one. It looks like little angel wings or bird
It
wings
does.
when I got
Yeah.
close.
It
I
does.
see.
That's when you got closer, correct?
Right.
And that was the
And
distance.
it looks like it's from a different angle.
Mhm. Nice.
Okay, and then you went in and you did the okay, that was the close, and then here you share. Okay, there you did reflections. Now you said this was the only one that came out. What
Well, I could see, there are times I could see a reflection with my eyes, but when I got it on the camera, well, it's just using my phone as a camera. So it didn't always turn out the way I saw it,
oh, that's interesting.
you know. So I was actually started out trying to catch a reflection of the sun, but when I pulled up my phone, all I got was a big glare. So
Hmm.
I moved and it then got a different reflection.
Mhm. Okay, and then did you do any reflections, Gloria, Nikki?
No, that was one of the things I didn't get to.
I did not do a reflection either.
Okay, and then Ruth posted this. You want to talk about that? Ruth?
Oh, I just thought it was very appropriate for what we're trying to do. So, you know, there were two ladies who were talking about meditation, and you were saying that you did, you know, you did the free flow writing. So there's lots of different ways to focus our attention on the moment and
Right.
get inspiration. So this one was about, obviously, about meditation and the purpose of it being to focus. And I'm thinking that our picture taking and looking for details and looking for reflections, just in particular, trying to see things in a different way is a way of creating focus.
Mhm.
Definitely.
And I said, what I sent out last night, I said, I said, you be able to do everything in less than 30 minutes if you gave up being right or wrong and didn't dwell on it and were just in the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
As it took me 2 hours to do that email because
Oh dear.
oh, what was the format? I was having trouble. The lines were too close together, too far apart, and then nobody opened it anyway. Or very few people opened it anyway. Okay, so we have that. And Nikki shared anything else you have on here, Nikki, that you,
Well, it's not on there, but I took a picture this weekend. If we can go back to the,
wait, that 1 minute, let's just go. I didn't
Okay.
share this last week. This was, yeah, from last week. Barbara's in with her kids. I just thought, I don't know if you all saw that. Well, Gloria wouldn't have seen it. This is tree bark
it's beautiful.
that Ute, share, of course, I see faces shared last week.
Mhm.
She had shared it on her main page. Look at that hidden face, peeking out from the other.
Sure.
Yeah.
Um, she had shared it on her regular page, and I asked her if she would share it here, and then I never shared it.
Hmm.
I love it. I love that, Barb. There's just so much in it. You know, so many images that you could pull out and just
Oh,
ways
sorry
to
about that. One
express.
minute.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Well, well, if we could go back to the,
Well, no,
to
Ruth,
our pictures.
yeah, Ruth was talking about.
Oh, I thought she was done. I'm sorry.
No, that's pretty much what I was going to say. There's just so many patterns and so many
Yes.
ways. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Mhm,
So many different ways to look at the tree bark.
right. Okay.
And different faces.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Okay, so now I'm back on Facebook. What was it you want me to look at, Nikki?
Oh, I wanted our faces,
Oh,
us,
okay.
the
Our Facebook.
participants.
Okay,
So
stop
at one
sharing.
of the gardens this weekend, can you see this? Let
You know
me,
what's going to happen? Get off your
yeah, the background.
get off your background right now. What happens, Lori, is when you're sharing background, then if you don't have a certain green screen or something, and if sometimes you're on a Zoom thing and you see people going in and out like that, is there
Uh-huh.
virtual background?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the base of a tree. And I saw this hole, which I'm sure something lives in. Can you see the big hole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I got this haiku, like, see, now you got me doing haiku, Sheila. Is our fairy home. Her tree is so beautiful. Wish I could go in. So anyway, that's the fairy tree.
That's sweet. You know, in Ireland, they say if you happen to go into a fairy hole, don't eat anything because they'll
Oh,
offer you food, and if you eat something, you can never leave. So if you get into the fairy hole,
Wait,
don't eat anything. Okay.
what about eating something at Berry Home? What was,
it's part of the myth in Ireland. If you go into a fairy hole, they will offer you food, but don't eat anything because if you eat something, you will never leave. You will never be able to leave the fairy hole and go back to your normal life.
because it's like witch to keep you
Yeah,
there?
because
or-
they're magic. Because they're magic.
Okay. Okay. So, so anything that you special you discovered about yourself, if you take away from this course, I did this course and what I really discovered.
I think I discovered that I have to work to get my focus because the first week or so I had a hard time changing my focus. You know, even if I was doing the exercises, I thought, what? This isn't working. So I had to learn to be patient with myself because eventually this was kind of like an aha moment. Oh, look, there it is. I see.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things I've taken away. The other is to change my focus when you know, and to be focused on details as well as the big picture.
And what happens when you start for you when you focus on details?
It takes me out of whatever place I'm in.
Mhm.
You know, maybe I'm worrying about something, but I start focusing on details and I start having fun. And totally changes my outlook on whatever I was worrying about.
Okay, great. And which means somebody who is focused on details, if they switch their focus to the big picture, will have the same thing. It's just an opportunity of shifting focus.
Yeah.
So when it's shifting focus, we can shift mood sometimes very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Gloria?
Well, I had discussed with you during the week that I've been having a lot of anxiety,
Mhm.
but I find again with the same words, shifting focus, if I can shift my focus to either writing something, even if it's only a sentence or two. I think to calm down, it kind of breaks that anxiety spell. And I can accomplish more. Because what anxiety has been doing, it stops you in your tracks. And you sort of can't move to do, you know, whatever you want to do, you're going to do. Oh, I can do that later. It doesn't matter. But it does matter. So the focusing on either writing or taking a picture has been a help.
Mhm. Great.
Yeah.
And Nikki?
Well, I think that I talked with you also about how it made me realize that without meaning to be, that sometimes I'm a little judgmental. So it's made me aware of doing that, even though I don't say anything. It's all in my own head that I'm being judgmental about somebody or something, and I need to be more tolerant of other people's
Mhm.
views, I guess. Oh, I already thought I was, but then I'm still judging them, so I got to stop doing that.
Mm,
I think that judging thing is pretty normal, but the fact that we can become aware of it and stop
Right.
ourselves is the trick.
Right, exactly.
How much time
Mhm.
have you spent judging yourself?
Hmm.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a never ending thing. It's always ongoing.
I met, or I should say met, and since she has an open page, those of you on Facebook, even you too, Gloria, can go there. I suggest you look up, she does these very long stories. She's an English professor and she's also came here, I think her family, there's a lot of history in the family of Holocaust type survival stories and a lot of ethnic stories. And this is like one, and she posts these things. I wrote to her messenger. I said, did somebody do the book? Because she wrote one story that grabbed me, and I'll start posting them, sharing them on my Facebook page. Was a somebody, there was a best friend or best friend, and then they were invited to a party, and the parent who was having the party, the mother wouldn't let her go because she was Oriental.
Mm.
Chinese, and you don't have a thing, and we're going to be judged, and all the rest of that stuff. And I think this Sylvia did not end up going to the party. She and her parents and the other family went into New York and had this great time. And bottom line to the story, oh, and I think this Chinese girl was going to be, I think she was Chinese, was going to be a doctor. It's what they said. And the other mother, no, never, or whatever. Well, bottom line, and strangely, the woman, the big home woman got cancer. And guess who saved her? The
Mm,
top oncologist was this
yeah.
woman.
Hmm.
And the girl, you know, the woman's daughter ended up marrying a civil rights attorney. So it's really like fascinating stories. And this one, what made me think of it, I took, and I'm not going to read it all to you, but this was, the Sylvia was talking about, she went into a shoe repair shop and how the owner was doing things for free because this one was handicapped and something else and the handling and the whole, really a beautiful story. And then she said, and so she started because the helping the daughter after school. Anyway, when at the end they were talking about tools and she didn't have any tools. I mean, she was a nothing. Sylvia, seeing herself because she wasn't artistic and she wasn't this and wasn't that. And what the family showed her, and they gave her a box of her tools, were caring for others in her writing. And so anyway, look her up.
Mm.
Sylvia, right,
Oh. What? Excuse me. What?
Baer, Baer.
AER.
Baer.
What's her first name?
Sylvia.
Okay.
I don't know what that was.
Here, it's something in the backyard.
Oh, wait, Deb's now just typing in because I got her a messenger. I didn't know what I did with her number.
Mm.
So anyway, that's in a way, just a story of changing perspectives. And there's a lot of different type of, in a way, she's changing perspectives, and she's a professor evidently in a school in South Jersey.
Hmm.
So, but she's lived in a lot of different places. I think, I don't know whether she said she came from the Ukraine. And somebody's written her, I Facebook messaged her back to see if she was writing a book. Okay, thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
could have said that to the group.
Well, you were talking. I didn't want to interrupt.
Well, no, but I mean, you just sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Oriental's out. What Ruth just chatted to me and her kids corrected her is that not, well, I think I have to ask Joy about that. There's somebody in my group. Anyway, Oriental's out and it's Asian. So that's easier to remember.
Mhm.
We'll call in Deb. So Deb said her Zoom wouldn't connect. Okay, so on my thing, and let me give her the, it's hard to navigate all these different instruments. Okay, I'm not screen sharing now, right? So I want to just go to this. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Hi, Deb.
Hi, Deb. It's interesting that when we met, and Deb, you could use your phone number, just phone in and you should be able to do the video combination. Okay, so is there anything you'd like me to share? Oh, I know what I wanted to share with you. I shared a couple of other things. Okay, so up on here, last week I told you about the I shared this with you.
Mhm.
And that happened to be at the beginning. It was two pieces. I mean, it was one piece. I think I showed you two. I have two pieces. And this is what happened when it went in water. It separated into the two pieces, and this was the pod. I covered it. I don't know if it had to be covered. And there it is, slick, just out of the water in the sink. And then it started drying. And ultimately became, I think it might have gone back into one piece. I think I might have done it another time, and that's what has it too. And then, no, okay. Oh, that's when I was looking for the sunrise, sunset. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to show you and looking at stuff. So is her audio working? Yeah, the audio is working. So Deb, I see your phone. It looks like your audio is on. Would you like to share anything?
I feel bad because I'm so late. I had taken a few pictures of reflections, and it was, I don't have a way to share it, but it was the hood of my son's car, which is well waxed, and so it's very reflective. And it was all the different trees that are on the farm reflecting off of it. And it was just this intricate pattern of lines, and of course they're kind of upside down and inverted, and it was really cool. I was just like, wow, I would never have looked at them that way. So it was neat to get a different perspective of what trees look like, I guess, if you're laying down on the ground looking up at them.
Mhm. That's great. Anything else you saw in photos?
Not specifically. The week has been crazy, and I did not get to do near as much of the exercises as I had hoped to. It just didn't happen.
Okay. And is there anything I asked everybody if you've seen anything different, anything open up for you during these different exercises, looking at different things in photos or in the writing?
I think what happened for me is that all of this made me acutely aware of how busy I have made myself. Like, I can't sit in a meeting and not be doing something. And so my parents used to call this the tyranny of the urgent. You have to be busy. You have to be busy. And no, you don't. And so this has really helped me to stop. Like, I took the reflection off of my son's card. I took the time to take that picture rather than walking in and going, oh yeah, big deal. Because I don't need to be busy every second. I need to stop and breathe and pay attention to what's around me because it's important.
And it's important because, and that's great, but it's important because.
You only get one spin around life. And we've all heard someone say, you know, when somebody's at the end of their life, they don't talk about, oh, I made all my meetings and I did all of this. They talk about the little things, that they spent time with their grandparents or their grandchildren, or a neighbor who was in need, or there was somebody knitted something for them or crocheted or embroidered something and gave it to them. It's the little stuff.
Mhm.
And we're all, for me, I think we're all forgetting that it's those little tiny things that are what make the difference.
Great,
That's what I've learned.
thank you. You're on Facebook, or when you go on Facebook next time, go in the group. Ruth posted, if you want to summarize it quickly, Ruth, because it's a good reminder. She posted something today, a quote.
The Neil Donald Walsh quote. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
There's a quote that I have an app for Neil Donald Walsh and his quotes, and I posted it. And essentially it was saying that meditation is a way to change our focus. And the other things that we're doing help us change our focus as well. You know, whether it's taking pictures or writing, or, you know, as you said, just stopping. Just stop the running around. So all of those things are good ways to help us change our focus. So I thought it was appropriate to
Great, thanks.
bring that in.
Have you been doing any writing? Did you do any writing, Deb?
Not this week. I have not.
Okay. I'll talk to you another time. I'm curious about if there's anything different in the writing, because I know we've been in writing groups. All right, so you're talking about the little things. I had said that this time would be the last session. I realized that it's too much going into technology, but I want to give some simple tips. And one of the first things I am passionate about, I don't know if you've all been to my thing, and I'll do the link, my Your Untold Stories page, which in looking at, well, let me just go into that for a minute. Screen share. So my cousins, I didn't show you the lavender though, did I? In Shifting Perspectives, that's when I was trying. Okay, so this I thought was fun, and I found this, and I reduced but being aware. So this was a Phalaenopsis orchid that dropped its petals. I mean, dropped the flowers. These were the flowers on the table that I kind of was intrigued with. And so then I started, so you can see anything in quote unquote garbage or whatever. And then I played with it, shifting it around. So you notice this, I don't know, this looks like it might have been turned over. This was a long time ago. So when I turned it over, you saw more of the face here and the bottom was different. And then there was some kind of editing program I did where I blurred it and then turned it around, and you can see the differences in the two images just by rotating. So I thought that was fun. I wanted to share that. Anybody want to say anything to that? Okay. Oh, I know. I don't want to stop share. I wanted to go up to,
I just thought of something.
yeah.
Down further when you flipped it over, the flower and how it changes. I don't know if you've ever noticed, if you've done that with yourself, you're so used to looking at yourself in the mirror. And if you see yourself not looking in a mirror, you look totally different. And it's the same idea of flipping the image.
Right.
And it's pretty interesting, I think. And that was all.
You can do that on Facebook by, just it's flipped from left to right, not upside down, correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll show you that in a minute. That's mirror image and not mirror image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in the Your Untold Stories, my cousins and I were talking about a while ago, not remembering family stories. Oh, that's Word. I don't want Word. I want Chrome. Okay. And so one of the things I'm really strong about is capturing the stories in the moment, using your phone. Okay, so using your phone, the recorder on your phone, be it Android or whatever. So he's talking here about guides on the homepage. Now, what happened? Did I close that?
Mhm.
Recently, I'll type it in. And I actually have, so you're going to see, I'll give you the link to my family videos where I started capturing stories. Now you can create stories using just photos and audio. But the main thing is, so here I talk about, you can put in for a guide. And so not only we have our history, we might read for our kids. Now there are a couple ways, and you can check with your kids if they want, do you have kids, if they want, or friends or family members or anything, pieces of your history. And you can record them even on Zoom, or using your phone, you can record the bits and pieces. So here, this is fun, and this is in the family. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this is in the.
Now on. This is Grandma, Caitlin, and Brad. And Caitlin and Brad are sure.
Okay, so when I met, I might have mentioned this, how they were talking about, you could put them in now these are all, I recorded the thing, you'll hear them talking, and that's at their wedding, and I just took photos and made it into a video. So that's something that can be easily done on our smartphones. And you haven't to be saved. But I say, anytime you hear anybody saying anything about you or anything you want to remember, flip on the audio on your phone and record it. And the iPhone is voice memos, and there's a recorder I use also on the iPhone, and something else. I will put that out that you can just use, and you can accumulate them, not do anything with them, but then at some point you'll have them if you want to go further. This, by the way, just so you know, is on my, the cousins, on my sisters, the whole thing of my mother's family. Okay, so then I have the family videos. I'll give you that, and it goes down in the family videos. Just quickly, you'll see. No. It explains some of the process, and when you go down, I don't know why I didn't have this done. My apologies. Okay, and as you go down that, now my grandson in Georgia wanted to, oh, cripes. My grandson in Georgia wanted to live interview me, which he did when, okay, I remember it, that. So if you go down, the first video explains it all and explains the different videos. You'll see all these, and notice they're all short clips, 1-2 minutes. And if anybody wanted to capture, you might ask those that have grandchildren if they'd like to hear any of the stories. They might want to interview you, or you might ask them and you can create stories or what they'd like to know, even if they're not on with you. And this can be done on your phone and video. You can do it with a Zoom account. You can do that. This was a fun story that I didn't capture it. Ryan was telling a story of his father, my younger son. And so I recorded the audio. I wasn't quick enough to get in the video. And I took a picture of them and just used the picture to create the video. Oh, anyway, I'm not going to, this explains it all in here. So I wanted you to be aware of that, and stories and connecting, ways of connecting. Other ways of connecting that I use frequently, I make it a habit to sing happy birthday or happy anniversary on my phone. I sometimes look to people that are special. I know my great niece had said to me once, she felt so good about it. She felt like we were in the living room together. And you can just do it anywhere, or you can look around for Brad, now the father of my great grandson. I took that one video or that one audio, they had not been, I just audioed it in case they got married, they would have it. And that was one I probably mentioned once before. They were talking about you could put us in an all white room with nothing to laugh about. I mean, all white room with nothing in it, but the two of us, and we'd find something to laugh about. So anyway, for his birthday, I went out to the banana tree. And bananas happened to be blooming. I did the whole bananas. I think for somebody else, I went out. No, we happened to have these things that were next to the hibiscus. And I took that and held up a flower. So you can personalize them, but even just your singing or your voice. Now from iPhone to iPhone, the videos go easily. I found the video, and so I don't know from Android to Android, Nikki, but
Yes.
if the videos go easily, it doesn't go from that. So what I found, just as another tip, those that use Facebook, is now my grandson-in-law sends me videos via Facebook Messenger.
Uh-huh.
And that's really quick and easy. And I uploaded a video, when great grandson was here and we were looking at wood knots. So I uploaded some videos in that way. So that's a side tip for people that are on Facebook and use it.
Sure.
Messenger does have video chat.
Mm-hmm.
There's texting that you all know. You can always check preferences for people though, what they like. Some people don't like it, or there might be certain times. So be aware of, and even asking people that you want, or your kids or anybody else, what's the best way of communicating with you, and when and the times and what kinds of things would you like? A friend of mine, her kids aren't answering at kids, but they're adults, aren't answering things, and all kinds of stuff like that. So you can set up kind of guidelines and agree to certain things and just keep mentioning how important it is. And you'd like to be in communication and always start from I. I kept telling my friend the other day, it's I, not anything, because as soon as somebody hears you, so talking about healthy foods or something, and she's very much into the, which is not safe, the electronic frequencies here. And so like I said to her, I appreciate, but even when she said to me, she gets upset if I'm on my phone in my pocket because of the things. And already if I hear you, now in that case, I don't. Now this is a friend, we disagree about certain things and we have an unwritten rule, so to speak, we do not talk politics.
Ooh,
And but I think even if she's talking to her daughters about food or something, I mean, they're into healthy stuff. Somehow you kind of automatically say you, and my thing is always listen and never say you, even in the middle of a sentence. I feel bad when you, or I'm worried about you with it still. So that's an important thing on my part. One way, finding out people what I want. I have a friend who can't get out. She's got a lot of physical things now and can't get out with COVID. I mean, she could get out, but it's not safe for her. And she loves to hear birds singing. So when I go on my walks, I make sure I take little in the thing, bird things, and I simply text them to her. And she's
nice.
really appreciative. So find out what you can be doing for people you want to be connecting with. What is it they most like? I was going to say something, and I think I had said somebody was surprised and pleased. I mean, what thrills me now is that I can actually, and my upgraded computer is not the latest, but I actually can text message on my computer.
Ooh,
And one of the things I've been doing is, like right now, you'll see, I mean, well, you could say, I don't know if you saw when I went into the messages to get the Fisher net. I had texted myself, I was on Facebook or something, it was the quickest way, links to something. I think I was going through old pictures to ponder, and so links of things I want to get back to. And it's the easiest way to do it. I text myself a photo of someplace else and it's on my computer, faster to get to my computer and then into it from there. So that's a tip for those where it works. So, and again, I say you can use Zoom if you want to take on any of the interviews or your family wants to interview. It's just a great way. You can save the recordings in a variety of ways. And all of these recordings that I have, first of all, always ask permission. And generally speaking, like these recordings I have up on YouTube unlisted. Now, nobody can, it's still not totally private, but anybody could share your link, but it's not searched or anything if it's unlisted, the video is unlisted. There are other like safer ways or more private ways, depending on what you're doing. People go to Dropbox or other places. So anyway, though, it's always permission. So My Family Videos is public, but that's with all my grandkids' permission, that it was okay that it be out in that way. So it can be aware. And that's pretty much it in an overview of small things which tipping on technology. So any questions? Anybody have any questions? Okay. So I'm curious, I don't know, or, well, I don't say or prejudge anything. Is this something that you might want to see continued in some way?
Say yes. I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed, listening to other people's point of view and challenging myself. I may leave everything till Sunday, but but I did it.
typical. And I'm the one that does it the very next day.
Oh, good for you.
Then I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Notice I don't even say assignments. I was saying suggested activities because I don't like homework.
Yes.
And Julie Jordan Scott always used coursework, but it's still.
So, yeah.
And one of the things I loved about teaching art is that I never had to grade anything. So we did
Yeah.
homework as such. So anyhow. Okay, well, I don't know that I'm taking this further right now.
Mhm.
And I appreciate that. I mean, ideally, one of the things in doing this was testing, possibly getting one-on-one coaching clients, and then also having a membership group, because I know that what happens in the interaction is really very helpful. So, okay. Any last words?
Thank you is a big last word because we appreciate all you've shown us and had us testing ourselves and challenging ourselves. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
I
And
agree.
Yes, Sheila, thank you so much. Your insight and your way of helping us see things has been just wonderful. And I really appreciate you.
well, thank you. I appreciate you and your sharing. So, okay. So again, I thank you all for your contribution to each other and to me. And
Mhm.
I will be seeing you all on Facebook or connecting in other ways. So,
Are you leaving the magic of the Facebook page up? Or,
oh, good question. I'm surprised there wasn't more interaction there. I'm going to leave the group up with some conditions, and I'm going to stop the recording now. Well, no, I can say that in the recording. I have certain things up there. No, I have certain things up there that I think I'm going to give people like a week or something. And I'm glad you reminded me, Nikki. Thank you. To take down like some of I put out a lot of bonuses here. And so any of that I'm taking out of files and the homework assignment, and I'm going to take down the replays.
okay,
I'll give,
that's understandable.
yeah, so I'll give anybody like a week or less just to take anything you want off of there. And then, and that's it. So thanks for the question and thanks for reminding me that's something. I'm
Well,
gonna do.
I was just thinking like, I'd love to keep in touch with Ruth and Ivy especially, and Gloria if she participates, but it's just fun to have somebody that's, done this with us and talk about, like our refrigerators and things.
So true.
Okay, so I am stopping the recording and we still.
Okay.